I have to say, it's been a little weird not discussing Virgin Soul every single week. It was a couple of weeks break there, maybe even 3, I forget how long it's been. But it's finally great to just be back and talking about my favorite show of the season, as if we're including carryovers, this has been my favorite show. I absolutely love this, and I actually appreciate how this episode didn't go into anything really explosive, because we haven't watched this show for a little while here. So I was interested, is this going to be something that's going to be just like balls off the walls insane, or are they going to just ease us back into it? And it does feel like they're easing us back into it, which I absolutely appreciate. Because this episode at the core, it really felt like we were dealing with how characters overcome regret. And the main person and the main star of this episode was 100% Aziel. Because he's a really interesting character. He's a character who's been put in a negative spotlight, especially within season 1, a positive and a negative one within this season. And this episode is really interesting one because we really dive into his mentality without a lot of words. Like, there's very little dialogue with him, except near the end when he tells Muguro, like, why are you apologizing? You have nothing to apologize for. But you can see so much regret in his face and how they do the flashbacks to when his people were brutally massacred by Charius when he tried to rebel against the king. And it was interesting because at the start you see Nina try to, like, apologize, saying, like, how she was sorry that she couldn't turn into a dragon when he needed him, and he just, like, kind of left, like, trying to saying, like, I don't need your help, I don't care. And I thought they were gonna go the route of, like, he was actually really pissed at both Nina as well as Muguro, but it's interesting how the episode kind of plays out because you realize he's just regretting himself and what he planned because his plan failed. It's not that he's trying to blame Nina or blame Muguro, it's everything that he thought he was going to do got his people killed, and he's so regretful because he was upset at what happened there. And I really like that because it was interesting because you really get a sense of, like, he's mad at Nina and he's mad at Muguro because they couldn't do what he wanted him to do. But I appreciate the fact that they went in a more humane kind of route of making him actually regret his own decisions, and if only he planned in a different way and not just say, this is how everything's going to work, it's going to be fine, his people would still be around. So I appreciate that. But at the same time, you see a lot of regret with multiple characters, like even with the Knights, forget what they're called, and like how they're having regret and things like that. But then Kaiser comes back in to kind of like pick them back up. So I thought it was a nice episode. It wasn't the best episode, it wasn't the worst episode, it was just a good episode to ease us back into this, and we know things are going to get insane, like especially if you see after the credits there, we literally have the Knights who are working for Charius there, and pretty much they have hired someone to take out Nina, which is interesting because I was interested, are they going to go the route of like overthrowing the king, or what are they going to do? But it seems like they are still loyal to the king, even knowing that he's been conspiring with a dragon, an enemy of the humans there. But it seems like instead they're going to go the route of trying to just take out the dragon, take out their problem, and have their king be their king again, not interfering with the enemy kind of a thing. But you know Nina's probably not going to die from this guy. If anything, maybe Charius will even save Nina from this. And that's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play with that, and how, if the king is going to get overthrown, or if the king's going to take out his knights, something like that. But I did enjoy this episode. I think it was a very calm episode. It was very nice. It was heartwarming to see the stuff between Favreau as well as Nina, especially with the whole I love you scene, and her like jumping on his back, kind of trying to beat him up because he's kind of like mocking her. And I appreciate that Favreau isn't going the route of trying to criticize who she loves, more or less just kind of like giving her some friendly advice to keep her on her feet, not just blindly trust everyone. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like he's like making fun of her, or he doesn't feel like he's trying to criticize who she loves. And I appreciate that because a lot of characters would in this situation. So I liked how their kind of conversation went. I thought it was heartwarming, it was cute to watch. And this episode at the core was just very fun, and is leading us into something that's going to be insane next week. And who knows, maybe this will be like one of the final like points in the anime is Nina dealing with this assassin who's coming after her. It'll be interesting what they do with it, but at the core, like, I thought it was very nice, especially with the stuff with Aziel and Muguro, where he says you have nothing to apologize for. I thought that was heartwarming. I just like how they handled the kind of like the concept of regret, and I'm really excited to see what they do next week. And I'm hopefully, you know, there won't be any more major breaks. I think the break that caused the MAPPA shows to go on break was actually like some sporting event in Japan, so hopefully no more of that. But let's see where it goes next week. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think of the episode? What was your favorite moment and why? Let me know, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care, and you all have a good one.